It's 2025 and Leicester City are absolute dog shit. But 10 years ago, we were great and on our way to a Premier League title. Luckily for me this season, I decided to celebrate that 10th anniversary. I'd relive that season day by day instead of facing reality. So, 27th of November today, what happened? Well, really, it's the eve of that big game at Filbert Street where Leicester take on Man United. So, top of the table, Leicester plays second place United for go top of the table, whoever wins that game, potentially. But more importantly, it's that big game for Vards. He's scored 10 in a row. He's equalled the record. If he scores tomorrow, it's 11 in a row and a new Premier League record. So tune in tomorrow and we shall see what happens as we relive that game. But what else was going on? Well, looking through the history books, there was actually really a cool article published today in The Guardian, which you can still read. I'll share the link in the comments section. It was really an interview with Claudio at the training ground. And he's just talking about his philosophy, how he came into the job, how he'd reviewed Leicester's last 9 games last season, saw that intensity, that desire to win that they had during the end of last season. And he wanted to keep the nucleus of the team together and just try and keep that intensity. He said he had the same intensity on the training field as he did on the pitch. And he wanted to see the players desperate to win, which I think we had, especially that Villa game, they just didn't give up, Nathan Dyer nearly took his own head off with that winning goal, this team really gave a shit. This team really wanted to win. They knew they were good deep down. They knew they could, and taking it one game at a time, they were doing it and they were trying fucking hard. A lot better than Dicks at Southampton last night, who second half, it is absolute disgrace. Anyway, what else? In that article, actually, interesting stats, so Opta stats that they point out. Top 8 players in Europe by stats. So number 1, Neymar at Barcelona. And then number 2, obviously, I'm not going to read this out for Leicester players. So number 2 is Mahrez, who was the second best player in Europe at this stage of the season. I mean, he'd scored 7. Then Ibrahimovic, yeah, you know what I mean. He was at PSG at the time. And then Messi also at Barcelona. So Barcelona had 2 in the top 4. Then Costa at Bayern. And then in number 6 was Vards. So we had 2 players in the top 6 in Europe. The only other team that had that there was above us Barcelona, which is bonkers. Well, it's not bonkers, is it? We know, because they were fucking great. Anyway, that's today's video. Tune in tomorrow and we'll go through that game and we'll see if Jamie Vardy scores his 11th goal in a row.